And here we go. I think we're about ready here. There it is. All right, we're up and running. How we doing, everybody? Good to see you all again. We are here for a second game. Apologies, it's taking a little bit of time loading up ESPN. They're a little less capable of the spotting, so let me get this pulled up. But yeah, this should be a good one. I'm very excited for this matchup. I'm excited to see everyone back in action. Going into watch ESPN now. But yeah, Angel City versus Portland. Good times ahead. All right, the video is ready. All right, it's going to be loading here shortly. Excellent. All right, so then let's get ourselves into the lineups here. Just going into the live feed for that. In any case, hopefully everyone here is doing well for themselves. It's nice to be back. I know we had a chaotic yesterday, but we are properly in place this time. All right. There's the match thread. All right, so here's our lineup as the thing is not yet, the stream has not yet gotten going on ESPN's Watch app. All right, Angel City running a 4-2-3-1. Here's the starting lineup for today. We've got Angelina Anderson, number 19, acting in goal. 3 defenders officially set. Starting to think that this lineup is just defaulted to writing the same numbers every time without actually checking if it lines up. But the 3 official defenders are Sarah Gordon, acting as captain, Emily Sams, and Giselle Thompson. The numbers respectively being 11, 6, and 20. Then we have a bunch of midfielders. We have Evelyn Shores, number 15, in the midfield. Neely Martin, number 14. Taylor Suarez, number 99. Mayara is going to be playing also in midfield, number 12. Kennedy Fuller, her number 17. And then acting in the 2 forward positions, we've got Riley Tiernan, number 33, and Svindis Jansdottir at number 32. A lot of bench players in place. As they become relevant, we will mention them. The Portland Thorns will be starting Mackenzie Arnold, number 18, as goalkeeper. M.A. Vignola, number 25, will be on defense, along with Carolyn Calzada, number 4, Captain Sam Hyatt, number 16, and Reina Reyes, number 2. Acting in midfield, we have Cassandra Bogier, number 6, Jessie Fleming, number 21, Olivia Moultrie, number 13. And then in the 3 forward positions, we've got Pietra Torden, number 19, Ryland Turner, number 66, and Sophia Wilson, number 9. Right. With that, I'm going to refresh the page here, see if it's come up. And so far, they're just giving a screensaver image. Now it appears to be loading finally. All right, then we're on the 2.5-minute ad. All right, so while that's running, let's discuss just a little bit here how both these teams have been handling themselves. It's been a nice start to the year for both teams. Admittedly, I was thinking Angel City was going to start out more towards the middle, but it's been a good hot start. Portland, I thought was going to have a major drop off originally, just because they were dealing with some personnel changes in the coaching, and to my pleasant surprise, both these teams have definitely been achieving well. We've had Portland currently sitting second in the table at 10 points. Angel City at 9 points is fourth in the table. Later on, the team in between them, Seattle, will be playing as well. They are matching up with Utah Royals, who are currently in 10th, but would be in position to jump all the way into the top four, potentially with a victory. We shall see. And with that, yeah, it's been a really good time for the Western teams. Just in general, very successful first month. Been a quality setup for both teams. The ads here are moving ridiculously slowly. I don't know why they need the long break here. And also, it does feel like it's almost a punishment on the part of people who are paying if you are loading an ad at a time when the game should be running. We'll see when this thing actually starts its run here. What I'm going to do is see if this thing is actually kicked off on the screen. Okay, so there hasn't actually been any updates on Google, so I'm going to assume that it was just that this actually is a actual commercial break on the part of ESPN. Okay. All right, I am set up here with some lunch as well. To my everlasting frustration, what I thought was going to be a quick one took forever as the Popeyes order took forever to get, just to even make the order, because their intercom took minutes and they didn't send someone out, and then took them an extra few minutes to complete the cooking because they weren't prepared for the order, and only had the 5 spots. A bunch of people taking up spaces in them, so you have only 2 left, but one person's halfway into a second spot, so now you only have 1 spot. The other 2 aren't parked all the way in, so turning in is difficult. It's a narrow space. The entire building design was awful. So yeah, that has been a journey, but nonetheless, we are all here, we are all ready. This should be a very entertaining time. All right, the ad is only 6 seconds left, so we're about ready finally. There we go. Broadcast is up. It looks like they're still in the ceremonial. They've got everyone lined up still. The Angel City logo is placed in a giant tarp at the center circle. Fans got their flags up. I do love that fan section. I enjoy greatly that time I was in there. I mean, it's nice having a seat, but being in that space where everyone's standing together is very nice. All right, so Shores is the midfielder who's acting as a quote-unquote defensive player. Additionally, Suarez will be playing forward. So this is going to be a 4-3-3. So to anyone who's on the Angel City Reddit page, you do need to keep a little bit more track on what the lineup is, because this is a 4-3-3 that they're running. It looks like Suarez will be taking the left side of the field if you're orienting behind the keeper. It will be 4 defensive players, followed by 5 midfielders. Wilson for Portland is going to be the only one playing up front. However, the way the line is set up with 3 midfielders forward and then 2 back, it's looking like this will be a situation where the left and right midfielders will also double as wings. So that'll be what I'm going to be expecting out of the strategy on this one. Yeah, they're just showing the lamps here, sponsored by Walden University, whoever they might be. And so I've got the commentary running in my ear as it's happening, so I'll be able to hear it a little bit. So Robert Villaham, who was coaching Tottenham Hotspur previously, is now coaching Portland. He took the job very close to the start of the season, so the prep work is iffy there. And then the former Bayern Munich head coach, Alexander Strauss, is, of course, the second-year head coach for Angel City, taking on that position partway into the previous campaign. So this was a real attempt to run a full campaign, preseason, off-season. Everything was done under him this time. So we'll see how this turns out. So far, it's been going pretty well. All right. So now, at least from the coaching standpoint, you'd assume someone who's coached someone of Bayern Munich's caliber, who's been very much attempting to establish themselves as a dominant brand in women's soccer as well, trying to make inroads on what Wolfsburg had long established. That's going to be a little bit more impressive than, say, someone who's been coaching at Tottenham, where they haven't really been a major threat to win a championship yet. If you look at everything going right now, for example, you have Manchester City, Chelsea barely in it still, Arsenal very much in the mix, Manchester United sitting in fourth, and then you go farther down, there's Tottenham in the middle of the table competing with teams like London City Lionesses, Brighton and Hove. So we'll see how these teams' play styles are affected, though. Still a lot of ceremonial, a lot of team photos happening. This should be a nice one here. I am very much happy to have this back. It has been a long month of waiting for stuff to happen. Of course, this is a home game for Angel City. They're at BMO. BMO Stadium is basically a walk to the USC campus and, more importantly, the LA Memorial Coliseum. All right, the kickoff's about ready. Let's get ourselves prepped to start here. I will be starting the clock here as soon as the ball is kicked. It's positioning, and it looks like they moved away from the center circle, but I believe it looks like Angel City will be the one kicking off. We have some 3 Portland players surrounding the circle. Everyone ready to show off here. And there's the kickoff. It has begun. And the ball is launched straight out. All right, and we are ready to go here. Portland has taken possession, attempts a throw in, but a whistle blown. Okay. They will attempt that a second time. Katya Koroleva is the referee. Usually don't see Ion make that point in the score bug, so I am happy to ESPN putting that in there. All right. All right, so here we go. It has gone into the attacking zone. Portland attempting to get themselves open on another throw-in. And ball is stolen and just kicked straight up the field. It rolls back into the attacking third. Hyatt ends up kicking it over to the goalkeeper, to Arnold. Back to Hyatt. And we are back in the defensive zone for Portland. Goalie swings it over. But Calzada sends it all the way back. And ball goes back to the keeper again. There is a lot of pressure from the LA offense very quickly. And now we see an attempt to run up the field finally. A long pass, and it just rolls past everyone. Goes about 40 to 50 yards up before rolling out finally. All right. And the ball is kicked back. Anderson sends it, I believe, to... Looks like Sam's had it. Now Gordon. Ball stolen. It's in the attacking half here for Portland, so can they make an opportunity come up? No, it rolls off the back of one of the Angel City players, and ball gets pressed back forward, and whistle blown. It'll be a free kick. Portland tried to get something going, but Kennedy Fuller got knocked over en route to getting the ball. Free kick is sent backwards. Thompson tries to kick it back. He's hurried, and it's forced out of bounds. They did say that one of the Portland players actually bumped the ball while she was kicking, so it was a throw-in. So here we go. Stays in the backfield right now. An attempt to push it up. It is made. An excellent touch, and now a lot of space in place. Once again, Giselle Thompson running up from the backfield. She has taken the attack. She's unable to make it happen, but Fuller takes control of the ball. Ball is kicked away from her. Good defense from Vignola there. We go. Thompson again, acting on the outside of the box, trying to force something. She's not able to. She sends it back. Goes back another step. Looks like Sams takes it. Tries to press it forward. Ball gets deflected and rolls into no man's land, but Angel City keeps it. A lot of passing around there, but it's finally stolen by Portland, and now there's an attempt to push it forward. Seeing it. We have Calzada ran with the ball, tried to cross it. No one gets close to it, and it rolls harmlessly out on the other side of the field. This is actually pretty close to the corner flag, all the way up in the Portland attacking zone. But it'll be a throw-in for Angel City. All right, so productive first 4 minutes here. Throw-in actually is able to hit a black jersey amidst all of the pink and white that Portland was surrounding with. But there was no one really to clearly pass to. Portland gets control, ends up sending it all the way back to their keeper. And once again, it's Arnold and two backs just swinging it back and forth, waiting for an opportunity to present itself. Will Arnold attempt a long one? Nope. Is keeping it back down. Now attempt to press up. Goes to the right side. Reyes tried to make something happen, was not able to. And we're still back in the Angel City attacking half. But now there's an attempt to run up with it. We see Vignola press it onto the offensive side of the field for Portland, but forced to run it back. Once again, she gets control, presses it forward. The attempt to run up, but too many black jerseys in the area. They're forced to send it back to try, or at least try to maintain, but Calzada was basically pressured and just forced to send it up. Jansdottir almost managed to take a breakaway, but the ball was sent away just in time. Again, we see a pass back. Martin sends it over to Angelina Anderson, who controls it. Sends it over to Gordon. Gordon sends it back to Anderson. And now it's moved over to Sams. And now Thompson rushing forward again. Attempted to make a play happen. Ball is forced out of bounds. She gets to throw it in. All right, here we go. So here we are, 6 minutes 40 in. Anderson immediately pops the ball out as it rolls towards her. A lot of crowding right now on the back left side for Angel City. Ball is launched into the offensive half, but it lands in a Portland foot. They're not able to make anything happening. They send it all the way back to Arnold. So now, we're seeing a lot of swapping back and forth. Today, Angel City will be operating without Savi King, who has been in pretty consistent use since the season started. Which is why the D-line looks a little different this week. Trying to mount an attack. The ball gets taken by Angel City. There is a foul. So before Portland can mount anything serious, it's going to be a free kick for Angel City. All right. I think it was Mayara who got knocked over. Once again, ball kicked back. Gordon sends it over. Now Sam's with it. Sends it to Mayara. Mayara presses it over to Thompson, who kicks it forward. A slide on the part of Portland's defense forced the ball out, but that is a throw-in. But at least it limited the attack for a moment. So we have a throw-in. No one even remotely close to her as she does this throw-in. Everyone's already in the box, so they were expecting a long throw, and they get one. Excellent move. Thompson ends up with the ball, tries to pass over, but Suarez was not able to make the shot. Based on commentary, this is Suarez's first official start. That was an impressive throw on the part of Gordon. Already 9 minutes into the match here. Angel City definitely got the youth on their side here today. Seen a lot of... You do have a couple veterans here, but you can tell a lot of the players, definitely a younger unit. Ball rolls out the back. This will be a goal kick for Portland. It's kicked straight to a defender who kicks it back. And once again, we have Arnold controlling the ball for a good while. No real pressure. She was finally able to send it where she wanted. Mayara falls over trying to chase it, having to change direction quickly. But she gets herself right back involved in the play and takes the ball right back. Ball deflected. Ends up in the hands of Wilson, who pops it over for Portland into the middle of the field. Back to Wilson. He's now right outside the box on the left side. Crosses up Thompson. Tries to shoot from outside the box, but very easy fielding for Anderson, who is waiting for it. Very impressive move so far. And once again, offense for Angel City pressing forward. Sends it long. Ball made it all the way out of bounds, but it's a throw in. And the attacking third again for Angel City. Very supportive home crowd already. Looks like decent attendance here. Big throw from Jan's daughter. Ball is headed, but it was headed by a Portland player, and it does not get anywhere near the net. Oh no, it actually was. I was wrong there. That actually was an Angel City player. That was Evelyn Shores, who was able to get the header down. Just was not able to get it in the direction she wanted. So, ball is taken. Still an attack going for Angel City. The goal kick was not enough to put the ball away from here. Ball has been hanging out in the offensive half for Angel City quite a bit. Ball's still in the hands of the Portland backfield. Ball gets deflected. It'll be a throw-in. I think it's a throw-in for Portland, but looks like, no, the ref is saying it's going to be a throw-in for Angel City. So it's another long one. Once again, we got a lot of Angel City players hang out in the box, and they have once again seen fit to allow Gordon to just launch this ball. And it made it pretty close. No one was able to make contact, but it actually bounced with enough force that the keeper had to actually make a stop. Don't think I've seen a goal happen where the throw-in, it actually bounced. And obviously, I don't think you can do it directly, but if it had bounced off the keeper, that would have technically qualified as an own goal. In any case, a lot of kicking from the defensive line back to the keeper. A lot of possession for Portland has been just controlling it in this backfield. So they're trying to get something mounted, but they're not seeing the angle they want to attack with. Right now it's in the right backfield. A lot of passing back and forth. Now it gets into the midfield. We're seeing some back and forth passing here. Forcing it up. Almost had something there, but it goes right past the forwards for Portland and ends up being forced out. Giselle Thompson kicks it out the side, and it'll be a throw-in. Here comes a big throw-in for Portland. Now, one thing I do notice, when Portland has a throw-in, there's not a desire to all get in the box like it's a corner kick. So that is a major advantage on the part of Angel City, that you can just abandon the near and just place everyone into the box and treat your throw-ins like a corner kick. That's an advantage that you can play that Portland is not capable of. So I'm curious if enough uses of that will affect the Portland defense. Portland forced to abandon their attack, send it back to their backfield. So we got back and forth right now. Hyatt with the ball. Tries to force it in the middle of the field. A free kick ends up happening because Sophia Wilson got knocked over by like 2 different Angel City players. Here's an attempt to press up. Moultrie, they stepped on the soccer ball and ends up slipping. So that was Sophia Wilson. Moultrie was trying to get a pass in. Wilson chases it. It ends up losing any grounding because she ends up stepping on the ball. So that leads to a back and forth between, looks like Thompson and Anderson. Oh, no, it was no, sorry, I apologize. That was Sam's. But an attack attempted there. So Petra Torden basically runs over Emily Sams as she's trying to run out of the box. Now, it doesn't look like they're going to call it. I don't think they really should, but that was definitely an aggressive play. That does need to be a warning. They are stretching the leg out, making sure that she's okay. So Olivia Moultrie did not get to go at full strength in the last time that she played Angel City. He brought up that she had a brace on her leg. All right, so we are back to the action here. Gordon and Sams acting near with Anderson. And there's another pass. They got an attack opportunity here. And that was Torden again. Was able to get control of the ball right at the top of the box and made one dribble to run in, tried to take a shot, but absolutely could not get the ball settled. And on her first touch, tries to left foot it into the net, but she overcommits to it and just rolls in front of the net. Rolls straight back. Rather than do a goal kick, again, it's control back to the backs. A lot of swapping back and forth between goalkeeper and back. Seems like a lot of teams have been trying to just maintain control. So here we are, almost 19 minutes in. No control really yet for either team. Still a lot of feeling out process going. There's a whistle blown right before the throw-in. I think they made a call for contact while they were jockeying for position. So Angel City makes another throw attempt. And now a foul is called while the ball was still 50-50. Let's see. Look at the replay. Oh, okay. So it was Reyes for Portland, Gordon for Angel City. What it looked like. And at least that's what I could see. I couldn't tell the numbers for certain, but there was a battle for position. What was basically happening was it was a box out. It was literally a basketball style box out, and both fell to the ground. They ended up placing the call on Angel City. I guess ball ends up being forced out by Angel City, so it's a throw-in for Portland. Gets thrown into no man's land. Angel City kicks it back to Anderson, who launches it for the first time in a while. Ends up at the feet of Portland, who get fouled trying to run the ball and zigzag through everyone. Gets knocked over by Mayara. And once again, Portland takes control of it. Trying to run into the offensive third again. Been a back and forth so far. Both teams have had plenty of time in the attacking third. But no really excellent shots for either team just yet, as we're about a quarter of the way into this match. So there is another game this week. Seattle and Utah will be playing. If you have the time, you just need to create a free account with Victory Plus, and you can watch it. I will not be able to commentate that one. I do have a dinner set up after this. But here comes a free kick for Portland. Everyone running in. About 8 Angel City players were there and end up winning the header. Eventually, Portland does try to get something well outside the box after the header, but there was just no control over it. They were in a hurry, and it ends up just being a goal kick. Once again, Anderson not the one taking the goal kick, even though she's usually plenty strong with it. They're attempting to play a swing game here with herself, Gordon, and Sams. Just trying to swing past until they can see an opening. Ball does get kicked into the attacking third, but it ends up out of bounds, so Portland will have the ball. Portland has not lost a match in Los Angeles since October of 2023. The statistic from ESPN there. Oh, we have an attack potential here. Fuller crosses it into the box, but no one was able to reach it. So it bounces out to the other side, still in bounds. There's a competition right now before the ball is finally forced out. The Thorns basically just had to run the ball out to prevent Jansdottir from getting control. So here comes the throw in. Oh, wait, no, it's going to be a Portland throw. Okay. It was a competition for the ball, and it looks like they decided that the ball ended up out on an Angel City foot. So Portland trying to regain some control here. Forces just to launch it forward. Ends up out an Angel City foot, who kick it all the way back to Anderson. And once again, over to Gordon. Over to Sams. There's been a very impressive a bit of control from both teams, showing a lot of patience. This is definitely a cerebral game. Feels a lot more. Definitely feels a lot more European style. You're seeing the influence of the two coaches. Take it slow. Find your opportunity. Back and forth here. We got Thompson playing up. Beats a player off the dribble. Did not have an angle to shoot, so tried to kick it. Oh! The ball got deflected. Ended up back with Thompson, who actually had an angle that time. Kicks it straight at the keeper. And an extremely quick thinking by Mackenzie Arnold. Raises her right hand. Is able to pop the ball up. That was a goal if Arnold doesn't make the play there. Because it was over her head. It required a little bit of a jump, too. That was a brilliant move there. But here we go. We got a corner. Fuller making the corner. Goes over to Suarez. Nothing. There was a follow-up there, and this one goes off the goalkeeper. The first shot wasn't close. The second one definitely required a save. That was two very good shots in the span of a minute. Still in the box. Finally forced out by Portland. Portland was trying to just find enough space to get it out of there. That was an excellent string. And once again, we have Giselle Thompson with it. She's off on the other side of the field now. Tries to press it up. Ball gets deflected. Portland had tried to get it back. Fuller got in the way of it, and it ends up going off of her straight out the back, so that'll be a goal kick. Woo! Now it's getting fun. Now we got something going. But yeah, a lot of opportunities coming coming Angel City's way here at the beginning. And in case you're looking at the timing for the scoreboard that's on my screen, at the time I'm watching this, it is about a half-second difference. So, like I'll tell you, the broadcast I've got, I will tell you when it hits 35, 36, 37. So yeah, it's about half a second off. And I know when it comes to ESPN, time moves differently for everyone depending on how their ads are working. So it is what it is. I'll keep it as close to the action as possible this entire way through. 27th minute is complete. We have a throw-in now for Angel City. A lot of competition for the ball. Actually, ref is waving him off, so... Oh, we have a different thrower. Who we got taking it? And it appears Jansdottir is going to be the one who does it. Alright, so she'll be throwing in from the far side. I do notice it seems like Jansdottir is the far side thrower. And she has a great arm, too. That one went all the way into the box. And she was even farther back than the ones that I saw a little earlier where Gordon was throwing them in. Speaking of Gordon, she ends up with the ball. Tries to send it up. Portland almost gets control, but nothing doing. Neely Martin ends up with the ball, kicks it back to the backs. Send it back over to Thompson. Thompson's able to get it into the middle of the field. There is competition for the ball. No whistle blown despite two players falling over. One from each team. They ruin it, just a clean play. And two more people fall. No whistle. Portland takes the ball. Yeah, this is a very contested game. Both teams fighting for the ball. And the refs are willing to give a little latitude. So we'll see what this does. Oh, a misplayed. That was way too easy for Portland. Oh, never mind. They're blowing an offside. I was about to say, I was impressed by how quickly this broke down, but let's look here. As I said, it felt real easy, and yep, she is offside. Yeah, she was a good, almost full body length past the last defender for Angel City, which would have explained why the slide was so far off the mark when they were trying to stop the pass. So Moultrie does not receive the call for the goal there. And sometimes when it looks too easy, it actually is too easy. So they are doing a VAR, so they're going to need a minute. That is fine. And there's the whistle. And they're saying to keep playing. Yeah, no, looking at the replay, she definitely had a good leg length on everyone. So I'm gonna agree with that call. I might be a homer there, but that's where I'm going with it. Oh, misplayed by Anderson. She nearly blew that one there. She was trying to set up a swing pass, but Portland's attackers there were not willing to just play along. Sophia Wilson coming at the ball led to Anderson short-changing the kick and nearly ended up being a clean shot. Luckily, quick thinking by Anderson, she dives on the ball. So, definitely a close shave on both sides here. We've seen two very good shots by Angel City get stuffed. And we had the offside plus a mishandled ball on Anderson's part. But nonetheless, we still end up with no score in spite of those opportunities in both directions. So far, we've had 6 shots for Angel City, 3 for Portland. So decent number of shots coming, especially on Angel City's side, but nothing clean yet. There was a really good one, though. Once again, Moultrie wanting to get the scoring party going for Portland. Launches one off her left foot from outside the box. But quick thinking by Anderson, it's a diving stop. That was well played, too. Like, I'm sure she would have wanted to get a little bit underneath it, because since it was so grounded, Anderson was able to just dive on top of it, rather than actually have to, like, knock the ball over. But nonetheless, I think that was as well played as you were going to get, given the circumstances on everyone involved. Once again, still some attacks going. Angel City forces it away. We're definitely seeing Portland's attack is very potent, though it has taken a while to really get itself visible. Definitely took them a while to get warmed up there. Angel City has been the driving force for much of the offense. But now it seems like Portland's putting their 2 cents into this game. Ball forced up. Ball gets taken up. And there's a chance. Oh, that was a misread pass. She's expecting a cut to the right. But they just continued on straight. So it ended up right at the foot of Portland. Ball gets forced out. Throw for Portland, still in Angel City's attacking third, so they have to be careful with how they handle this. Arnold swings it over again. Looks like it's going to be Hyatt with the ball. Hyatt and Calzada appear to be the ones seizing control with the swing passes early. Seems to be the standard in these last few weeks. I've noticed the keepers with 2 backs has been the way that they've been handling a lot of the plays. Much more tactical, a lot less aggressive. They call for attack, and incredibly no whistle, even though there's been a lot of contact in both directions. I think all players involved need to be aware this is not one of those ticky-tack foul kind of ref teams. They are willing to let you make contact as long as it's not egregious. Ball stolen. Angel City back with the ball. They're basically in their attacking third again, trying to get a few players down. Suarez makes the move. Takes it. She's outside the box. She's trying to get a cross opportunity. She gets it over to Riley Tiernan. But unfortunately, she was already too far down. Tried to get turned around, but the ball is forced out. And she's upset with the ref because they're calling a goal kick. She felt like the ball had been taken off her foot and that it should be a corner. Let me see. I absolutely could see that. But it was a simultaneous, so I can see the ref favoring the goal kick. I won't call it an egregious call. I don't know if I would have gone for the goal kick in that moment because the aggression was clearly with the defender. But yeah, Portland trying to make a counterattack. Unable to, though. Very quick rush from Fuller again. Now Tiernan now with the ball. No, that was not her. That was Shores. We have a couple players here with the blonde ponytails, so unless I can see the jersey clearly, might take me a little bit of time to get a distinction just off of the distance. In any case, a corner was forced this time. We have another throw here. Jansdotter again, straight into the box. Excellent throw-in. But we have really no opportunities in place. The defense on both teams load up for these throw-ins And so you really have to thread a needle in order to reach one of your players. Eventually, Suarez did end up with it outside the box, but being hurried for it, she just ends up with like a scoop shot that moved very slowly and to the left of the net. So Arnold didn't even make a play off of it. So here we go. Portland kicking it all the way back to Arnold to try to reset. Once again, 36 minutes in here. So once again, we have the back and forth between Calzada and Hyatt. Back and forth with the keeper, trying to set up the play. They try to move something on the outside, but it gets sent out. Angel City ball at midfield. Giselle Thompson, the one throwing in this time. She does not have the arm cannon, so we actually have people at close range this time. Ball is sent back over to Anderson, who then sends it back over to Sams. Sams to Thompson. Thompson to Sams. What a back and forth going again over to Anderson. Will she send it over to Gordon this time? Or will she keep it on the same field? Ball ends up getting kicked up. For some reason, the broadcast decided, let's go away from the field for a minute and show people stretching. There's a lot of good on ESPN's broadcast, but there's a lot of just stuff to be desired. The one thing I definitely desire in certain sports, they're luckily not doing it here yet, is we need to stop with the mid-game interviews. I am watching NHL playoff games where, oh, hold on a second, Mayara got tripped up, and there is a booking. Yeah, no, that one pretty obvious. Pietra Torden has to get called for that. Trying to do a slide tackle, but easily misses the ball entirely and just catches Mayara's leg. So there's a yellow card. And once again. But yeah, no, the interviews aren't even with the coaches anymore. They're doing it during commercial breaks with players who are on the ice. Like, at least get people who are off shift. You got people who were literally just on the field and who are active players. Don't do that. Anyway, Fuller with the ball outside the box. Trying to beat them off the ball. But two players there, nothing doing. She ends up having to swing it. Ball is still available. Finally, a Portland player kicks it away, but gets no real strength on it. It just rolls slowly out of bounds. And that was a throw-in for Neely Martin. They're just trying to get through in a hurry. Gets over to the backs. Been a fun one to start here. At least from the Angel City side, I've been having fun with this. I don't know how stressed out the Portland fans are doing here. If you end up in here, yeah, sound off. Let me know how y'all been feeling here through the first 40. Definitely impressed with both squads defensively. And they both had their opportunities on offense. But yeah, it's trying to make something happen here. We got a throw in, and oh boy, I think we know where this is going. This is going to be another throw in. This time, it's very far down, so this can go easily into the box, past the penalty spot. Who do we got making the throw? Yeah, again, no one close. This is basically serving as a corner kick. And Jonsdottir, the one doing the throw this time. Ends up going off a Portland player who rolls it all the way out. But the attackers for Angel City were pretty far up, so were the defenders. So even though they kicked it all the way back to their D-line, that was still on the offensive side of the field. 41st minute about to conclude. An attempt to swing pass, not successful. And now there's an attack of opportunity here for Portland. They don't have the numbers yet. They're trying to get down. So here we go again. D-line trying to force something in place. They send it up into the midfield, but it ends up kicked into no man's land. Still an attempt to string passes together. We're still in a very contested midfield. Ball is eventually forced back. And once again, we've got Calzada and Hyatt trying to get the plays started from the back. Hyatt presses up. It's sent back to her. Let's keep this going. Arnold to the keeper. Sends it over to Hyatt. Ball gets deflected off an Angel City player. This will be a throw-in. They're making a call here. What we got here looks like it might have been Bogier making the throw. A long one, but it also helped that it was just bouncing away. So we got 2.5 minutes left before we hit injury time. Ball goes out of bounds. Waiting on the play to start up again. They're showing the drum line down in the fan section. This will be a goal kick. Anderson this time just launches it. Ball goes into the air. Still contested. A lot of back and forth between. We have Angel City, then Portland. Angel City, and then Portland. Angel City again launches it. Now this time it's only Portland backs with it. But it is really far back. And they're forced to send it all the way back to Mackenzie Arnold. Then to Calzada. They are going to blow a whistle on that one. That was a clumsy play on the part of Mayara. She ends up knocking over Moultrie. You're definitely seeing the month off affecting these groups. The passing string for the midfield is not in the same form it was before that break. The attackers are still moving pretty well, and the defense is still pretty solid. But the midfield has not been able to navigate as well as either team was earlier on in the season. So we'll see whichever one adjusts back quicker is going to be the one who ends up scoring first. We're into the 45th minute now. So unless there's a busted play, I would assume we're going to halftime scoreless. But still hard to tell yet. The D-line of Portland still kicking a lot back and forth. They're controlling possession. They're just not controlling the field very much. We will see in a bit when, in a few seconds, how many minutes are going to get added. I can't imagine more than 2 or 3. The VAR probably slowed it up a little, but that's probably it. So here we go. They're going to be calling it soon. We'll see how much time they're going to add. Angel City back in control of the ball. Mayara sends it back to the backfield. They're going to see, is there anything being added? Yes, 1 minute. So my guess is Angel City is going to slow up a little bit. They're going to try to make their attack the last one. Unfortunately, not able to make it happen. Martin's probably the one who's been the most off, at least from what I can tell. She hasn't been making a lot of contact with the ball, and when she does, it has been a little off its mark. So I'm definitely seeing it's definitely the midfield where there's issues on the Angel City side. Same thing I'm noticing, the Thorns are relying a lot more on their players up front. Torden, Turner, Wilson, and Moultrie. And so you're not hearing the midfielders' names as much. in terms of being able to consistently generate. And the whistle gets blown, so we are going to stop the... Wait, no, that was not... Yeah, there it is. I was like... Half the players thought it was still going, but there it is. There we go. All right, so I am going to get this thing to 45 minutes. Oh, missed it. There it is. All right, so 45 in the books. We'll be getting ready for the second half here in a little bit, but for the time being, we have got a drawn game. Angel City 0, Portland 0. Right, so they are interviewing Neely, so let's see what her insights are. I'll just go off. I'll just do a quick summary. Okay. So, yeah, she's saying that the high press has been working really well, but the issue is just that final pass and the movement between the lines. And, yeah, talk about just the threat Moultrie poses. Obviously, she was the one who got closest to registering a goal, ultimately being taken down by an offside call. But it has been a really solid half all around for both teams. I think defensively things are looking very strong. It is now a matter of which team is going to execute in the midfield. The one who's able to control it the best will have the opportunity to take control of this game still. So, just going to do some quick updates for everyone here. So far today, other things missed. We've had Raptors beating Cavaliers by 4. Tied that series 2-2. Spurs beating Trailblazers. Ultimately ended up destroying them there by a good 21 points. Portland had been in control there for a good bit in the second half. But nonetheless, Spurs are now up 3-1, and that matchup has gotten significantly less interesting. Over on the NHL side, Sabres 6-1 win over the Bruins, taking a commanding 3-1 lead. And the Avalanche looking pretty content to just run away with their series. This will be a sweep if they can hold on to their 3-goal lead for another 10 minutes. And they'll eliminate the Los Angeles Kings. No other elimination opportunities exist in hockey today. We'll see what's going on with Tampa and Montreal. That'll be starting up soon. Edmonton is in Anaheim with the Ducks leading 2-1 in that series. Celtics up 2-1. We'll be playing the Philadelphia 76ers in a little bit, followed by the Lakers. They are the only team with the opportunity to advance in their conference today. They will be playing the Rockets at 6:30 Pacific time with an attempt to take the 4-0 series victory. As for things going on here, we were already doing a live viewing of the last go-around. So what I had seen there is Houston ending up with a defeat against Carolina, 1-0, and then San Diego beating Denver 3-2. We end up taking the second half of both. And so what I was noticing off of both games was with the Courage game, they went into self-protection mode and also benefited quite a bit from the constant stoppages between injuries and the referees checking on stuff. It was just a very rough go of it, where Houston was not able to get into a flow, and because of that, there was never an opportunity to really get an equalizer. With the San Diego-Denver game, that was lunacy. The entire reason why I had expected San Diego to win is I figured it was going to be a defensive effort, but sure enough, Denver was able to rack up 2 goals very quickly in that first half, and then just in the second half was not able to manifest anything, and San Diego just kept knocking them down, goal after goal after goal. Eventually, 3-2, the whole thing kind of fell apart on itself. So, yeah, it was a rough one there, but nonetheless, it will be a very interesting stretch time there. The 2 games today are going to be very good. Obviously, this one has been a great deal of fun. Seattle and Utah coming up will also be a good time. Some things I will be talking about this week, and I'll go into a little more detail, will be NWSL announcing that Columbus will be receiving a team. They're 18th in the league. I'm fairly certain that is going to be en route to probably by 2030 hitting a 20-team marker. But it causes a few different issues because Columbus was one of 3 cities in Ohio that was competing. Cleveland and Cincinnati also were both very much in the conversation, since Cleveland was just bringing back the Rockers anyway, trying to become a one-stop shop for women's sports. Cincinnati had just gotten their new stadium for FC Cincinnati, so I think the idea was, let's get a couple games going in here, especially with, at least for the next couple of years, the schedules being opposite. So you would have MLS starting next season running in the winter, whereas the NWSL would still be running in the summer. So you wouldn't have really as much competition for space in the field. And you'd have something to sell all year. So once again, we will be talking a little bit about that, whether I think it was the right decision. Just based on what you can hear, you can tell I'm not super thrilled with what they end up doing here. Not even just with Columbus as a city, but with how they went about the ownership and the choice of it, how the public funding is going into it. And yeah, it reeks of a very corporate-friendly expansion. And so that is something I'm going to bring up this week when we're doing a lot of the weekend review stuff and I'm going over the games. It left a bit of a sour taste in my mouth, the whole way the 18th team went about it. And also, we'll discuss the conversations that have been had about this league going into a traditional scheduling model, which I understand the argument for it. I understand the arguments against it. I'm going to be making an argument in favor of keeping things under its current scheduling system. So I'm sure there are plenty of people who would prefer most soccer leagues run on the current format. Most of those people have not borne witness to what the Midwest and what the Northeast look like in winter, and how that is not conducive to soccer at all. So, yeah, this will be an ongoing discussion until the matter is either dropped or they eventually just commit to it. All right. Since we're at halftime, I am going to take a pause for the cause here. I am going to grab myself a water bottle here and take care of some other business. But I will be back in a couple of minutes so we can enjoy this second half. And hopefully we'll be seeing Angel City score. No offense to y'all in here who are Portland fans, but it is what I am hoping will happen. All right. Give me a moment. All right. We're about ready to get back to action here. Need to deactivate that. There we go. All right. So one statistic they were just showing up on the screen. When tied at the half, Angel City's only had one situation like that, and it ended in a draw. Or at least, hold on a second. That doesn't line up. Yeah, no, it does. Yep. Now, in Portland's case, there were 3 that ended up tied at the half, and in those, there were actual results in all 3. 2 wins, 1 loss. So, yep, it is a much different setup there, where you got the fans in Portland very used to definitive finishes out of this. Angel City, so far, if it's tied, it stays tied. We will see if that continues. And then, since we're on the subject of the soccer leagues, let's look at how the USL Super Leagues has gone. I know not everyone follows that one, but it is technically top level football in the United States. Let's see. Today's matches. Well, so far this week there was, on Wednesday the 22nd, DC defeated Fort Lauderdale 4-0. Lexington beat Jacksonville 2-1. Dallas and Brooklyn drew 1-1. Carolina defeated Tampa Bay 2-1. And then had, currently in the first half, Spokane is hosting Fort Lauderdale, and it is 0-0 at the current moment. So in looking at the standings, with only 3 weeks to go in that season, we've got here is 3 teams already in the playoffs: Jacksonville, Lexington, Carolina. And then a pretty hefty drop-off where in this 28-game season you've got Dallas holding it at 33, DC at 32, Spokane at 30, and Brooklyn and Fort Lauderdale still technically in it. Fort Lauderdale 9 points out, Brooklyn 7 points out. Definitely seems like that. If there was going to be an opportunity for Brooklyn to have stayed in it, they would have needed to beat Dallas outright. So they could be within 4 points right now as it stands. Not seeing that really, not really seeing that one coming. In any case, if Spokane can generate a victory here, that would be very important for them as they're competing with Dallas and DC for that last spot. They only go a 4-team playoff. All right, so we are about ready for this first half, for the second half to start up. So let's look at where we are. Looking so far. So they're showing Jess Fishlock. She has made the announcement that this will be her final season. She was the MVP for NWSL 5 years ago. And she is still making a lot of noise in Seattle. Those of you who remember that live broadcast will know she was... her name came up a lot. But her era is basically at the end here. I can only assume that means that she will also not be available for USWNT duty. So this is an era coming to an end in the NWSL there. All right, so here we go. Angel City and Portland about to start up again here. Wilson is going to be kicking off for Portland. Will it be just a regular pass, or will it be a launch out of bounds like was done at the start from Angel City? Just waiting on the whistle now so I can start the timer. There it is. There it is. I'm going to let you know how far off the timing is. 12, 13, 14, 15. So about 2.5 seconds off. And it's not far enough apart for me to want to adjust the timer. So, yeah, just assume that in general, the timer will actually hit a few seconds faster. But since I usually don't put the injury time up unless there's a lot of it added, it's not far enough of a gap that it would actually affect how things are being viewed. Alright, so we are almost a minute in here. Now we've got Angel City now moving towards the goal on the left side of the camera screen. Portland will be moving towards the right. So, additionally, the sun has started to really creep over. So visibility might be limited over the course of this half, especially on the lower side of camera. But right now, a lot of attacking going on for Angel City. Once again, we have Sams up to Suarez. Ball gets in the middle. Jonsdottir gets knocked over. But they're calling it incidental. That's probably a good call. I would have liked to see a PK out of that, but yeah, no, she got caught up by a defender already occupying space, so it wasn't like the defender actually got in and messed things up. Right, it looks like we are getting a corner, though. We got a bunch of players coming in. No substitutions yet. Arnold in center of goal. Most of the Portland players are in the box. Counting at least 7 Angel City players. Ball goes long. So there was not a play directly at the net. They were trying to set up and see if they could get a header into a touch shot, but nothing doing. I was curious of the weather out here, just because I haven't looked at the... Yeah, right now it is 64 degrees in Los Angeles, according to Google. I don't know if that's actually the case in the Coliseum area itself or at BMO, but if that's the case, that's definitely a manageable heat, which would explain why there wasn't any water break. And Wilson actually did make a decent play up and tried to shoot. It was saved by Anderson. And then Torden rushed in. But the thing was, because this pass was done onside, it was a great move at the start. She takes the shot. But in order to position for a rebound, there had to be a move ahead of the defender, so it was immediately ruled offside. So, yeah, unfortunate for Portland there, but that is the second time they made a move to score, and it just was the result of the spacing not being right. Notice a little bit more physical with the shoulder as Angel City was trying to start pushing up and the ball was drifting out. Wilson dug her shoulder in a little more. Still, I would consider a fully legal play, but I think the frustration is starting to sink in on Portland's part because that is the second time they had a goal opportunity snatched up off of an offside call. All right, it's going to be a goal kick coming. It was kicked over to the defense, back to the keeper. She kicks it up again. This was a mistake. This ball is now still in the attacking zone, and Portland's got the ball right at the top of the box. There's not enough of a bend in the kick, though, so it drifts out of bounds. Wilson is trying to start to make something materialize, but that one was not happening. You've got a lot of capable attackers for Portland right now trying to generate a scoring opportunity. And they're all just a little off. Uh-oh, ball stolen. There was a chance for it, but Anderson decided Moultrie is not going to get any attempt at a shot here. She was able to get control of the ball off of a steal. She's in the box, getting ready to take a shot, but Anderson just slides in and rips the ball straight from her foot. And she just goes flying. But again, for a keeper, completely clean. So definitely a rough start to the second half for Angel City. They've been allowing little too much in this early going. And once again, we have keeper passing up. So Arnold back to Hyatt. Now it's up in the upper end of the field. Wilson trying to get control of it. Forced to send it back over to Reyes, who kicks it back to Hyatt. Actually, no. No, that one's Calzada. Again, hard to tell in the shadow here. But she's running up. Tries to make a pass, but it's immediately blocked by an Angel City player who kicks it back to the keeper. Arnold keeps it in play, swings it over to the other side where Hyatt is ready. Tries to send it to Reyes. So now we have ball stripped. It's back to Angel City. Ball taken. Beating off the ball. We had Mayara kick it up into the front end. Ball is launched. Jansdottir tried to just launch it from a distance. And it is stopped by Arnold, but that had some pepper behind it. She had to just knock it down. No chance she was going to grip that right at the start. Just lets it fall in front of her and then take control of the play from there. A lot of people falling over again. No whistles called. Ball's beaten. Portland almost got beat off the ball when there would have been nothing stopping a shot at that point. But quick recovery allowed for Portland to stop what was about to happen there. And we do have a throw-in opportunity. Angel City loading up in the box again. Looks like it'll be Jan's daughter making the throw. It is. She throws it deep into the box. Will this be an opportunity? It almost was, but the ball, right before it turned into a shot, was grabbed by Arnold. Sends it over to Torden. Torden tries to cross it, but deflected. Portland's now in the attacking half. Turner sends it. We got Reyes with the ball. To Calzada. Over to Hyatt. Runs it forward in the midfield, but it's forced back immediately. Back over to Calzada. It's up to the foot of an Angel City player who kicks it out. Now we have a throw in. Looks like it's going to be Reyes doing it. Here we go. Reyes makes the throw. Ball forced back. Anderson takes it from her defender and launches. Once again, we've got rush up, Mayar with it, kicks it over. It's on the right side again for Angel City. Here we go, and it is still going in the backfield again. Backs are running up. Looks like Shores. Yep, it was Shores. Yeah, Shores tried to make a run at it, but got tripped up. Ball rolls harmlessly out of bounds. It is a throw-in. Reyes again. Nope. They're going to call it a free kick. All right, whistle blown. Okay, no, it was a throw-in. I was wondering what she was doing. She walked inbounds with the ball, planted it, did a free kick, and then the ref was like, what are you doing? It's a throw. There's the throw. Ball ends up out of bounds. It's going to Portland. Oh, I didn't see that result there. Chelsea defeated Leeds in the FA Cup semis. That means City and Chelsea going at it. That could be extremely important for Chelsea because on the men's side, they are in the thick of it right now. They are not likely to get into the Champions League, and even the Europa League is looking like it might not happen. So winning the FA Cup might be their way to get into the Europa League directly. So we'll see. Anyway, Portland on the attack tries to cross it into the box, only for it to fall into Sam's feet. Now an attempt to press forward. That was Suarez trying to take control, not able to do it. Reyes takes it, but continues running towards her own goal before finally forcing it back to the D-line. So they're pretty far back at this moment. We do have another one of those busy weeks coming up in the NWSL. I forgot that was on the schedule. We do have 4 midweek games coming up. In case Giselle Thompson with the ball now, is kicking into the offensive third. Suarez now alone. No one really guarding her yet. She gets into the box. Kicks it over. This is an opportunity. But Tiernan did not... It looked like she almost couldn't believe she had the ball where she did, so she never turned to face the goal to shoot it. And Sams ends up with the ball. Kicks it up. It's still Angel City ball. Ball gets kicked back in. Jan's daughter got tripped up. She is trying to sell that she should have gotten a PK. The refs are not buying it. Which is not surprising to me. If you have been avoiding really most fouls, that means that you're extremely unlikely to be calling PKs either. Now, there was contact. I'm not going to say that she didn't get knocked over by Hyatt, but I'm just saying it's a very physical matchup right now. So once again, we got the kick. Arnold. Here we go. Still with Angel City here. Tiernan with the ball. Running around. This time she does get the shot off. But it was not kicked at high speed. So it was bouncing towards the net. And you ended up seeing it fielded pretty well by Arnold. But the ball is still in Angel City's possession. Portland trying to just get this ball out of here. And they finally are able to succeed in forcing it out of bounds. But there will be a throw-in. But we have our first substitution. They knew something was about to happen with the long throw, so they're making the call now. Waiting for them to put it up because the substitution marker does not show from the back where the camera is usually positioned. All right, so we have number 66, Rylan Turner, stepping off the field for Portland. So her day is over after an hour, and instead we have Mimi Aladou. She is number 26. She will be acting in her place for the final half hour of this match. That is the first sub window for Portland, meaning that they only have 2 sub windows left. If they want to use all 5, it would either have to be 2 per window or 1 and then a different one with 3 subs. We'll see. Ball. So, okay. A lot of weirdness just happened there. The ball basically, we had 4 players basically running in a zigzag, Angel City and Portland alike. It bounced off about 4 people before it ended up just being a Portland shot. But because of how narrow everyone had gotten, she just ended up kicking it straight, and it was an easy play for Anderson. And once again, we have Angel City with control of the ball. This time in the backfield, trying to manufacture a play out of this. 62nd minute going right now. D-line sends it up. Waiting for a missed play. Is there a chance for a broken play? A lot of pressure going on. Portland forced to just send it back to Arnold. Finally sending it to Calzada. Calzada tries to press it into the midfield, but it just goes out. And now here comes the next one. We have 2 coming in. All right, so first one here. Kennedy Fuller stepping off the field. Ari Borges coming in her place. So number 17 getting replaced by number 8. And Taylor Suarez steps off, number 99. She is being replaced by number 18, June Endo. The talent they brought in from Japan. So here we go. The first sub window complete for both teams. We'll see what they do with that. So now you've got potentially a little more action in the middle field. Will this lead to some crisper passing? A little more control? We shall find out. Borges. All right, there it is. Good move by Mayara. Junendo with the ball. Unable to make the full cross. End up at the feet of a Portland player who kicks it back. But it stays with Angel City. who send it back to Anderson. Then send it forward over to right, there you go. Ari Borges with the ball. She's taking the rear of the midfield right now, trying to be the one who starts to generate stuff. Ball kicked back again. The press now in place. The front line guy, June Endo, again with the ball. Bounces off the body of a Portland player. Ball still contested. She gets control of the ball, but a foul is called. Another yellow card is called on Portland. And that will be Calzadas. A little too aggressive, sending down a player. Looks like it's Mayara again. So that's going to be a free kick very close to the top of the box. Because she was pulled down like maybe 5 yards in front of the box. So this is where you're going to need to put your wall up. And we'll see what the Angel City players do. How many are down. How they're instructed to go. It does appear Endo is going to be the one taking the kick. So this could be something. 65 minutes complete. Kick goes up. I think everyone was a little too aggressive there. They all ran forward. Endo's ball was positioned right at the top of the box, and everyone ran like to the penalty spot, so they had to turn back for the ball. So a little bit of a miscommunication there. It'll take them some time, it looks like, to get used to each other, but give them some time. They'll figure it out. Borges with the ball again. Sends it back. She ended up giving that to Shores. And here we go. Here's the kick. By the way, at this point, almost half the field is in shadow. Still too bright for them to try to apply the lights. Ball goes out. Will this be a throw-in? If it is, Jonsdottir is going to have an opportunity to throw to the box again. Start of the 67th minute. She is in line with the lip on the outside of the box. So this should be able to make it in. It does. Ball in play. Endo tried to take it, got deflected. And then it looked like Mayara was going to take it, but had to try to kick it down because of all the pressure. And it just could not be settled by a player up front. So the ball ended up out of bounds, another throw-in. This time was a regular one for Angel City, but it goes long, and that's a goal kick. So as we get ready for the 68th minute here, quick heads up on the 4 games on Wednesday. I will not be able to broadcast any of these, but they will be part of a preview. We have Boston Legacy playing North Carolina in Foxborough Stadium. That will be at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific. Washington Spirit will be hosting Racing Louisville, same time. That'll be in D.C. Chicago Stars will be hosting Gotham FC from Northwestern's Stadium. That'll be at 7 Central, 5 Pacific. And Portland Thorns will be back in business again at home, playing the San Diego Wave 3 days from now. So you went from playing a team in the top 4 to playing a team in the top 1. Out of the frying pan into the fire off this break for Portland. So they are definitely getting tested in these next couple matches. I do wonder how much that's playing into how they're approaching this match. And we do have someone down here at the end of the 68th minute. Yep, it's Vignola. There was a reach for the ball, and that was Riley Tiernan, but her foot was already in place when she tripped over it. So That is not a foul on Tiernan because she was going for the ball, clearly. And Calzada just... An aggressive play just didn't pay off for her. So in all likelihood, whoever had the ball before will end up with it. And yep, Portland will be continuing. So far in the second half, it's almost a 2-1 possession in favor of Angel City, which is interesting because Portland had a lot of opportunities right in that first couple minutes, and they just did not materialize into goals. But really, since about minute 51 or 52, this has been on Angel City's side quite a bit. Shores is going to be the one doing this throw-in. Goes long. Headed by Endo. Angel City's not able to bring it down, so gets kicked hard by Portland, who sends it all the way back. Anderson sending it back to the defense. Couple passes, it's back over to Shores. Borges tries to make something. She's not able to do it. There might be an opportunity here. This could be a shot for Portland. No! Ball stopped. A very impressive move on the defense there. It was basically a slide poking tackle. So let's look at this here, because this felt like a surefire opportunity for Portland, but just as they were gathering, we saw Sarah Gordon just lay out and just poke the ball away, preventing a shot. Ball ended up behind her, and the whole play ends up just leading to a very soft kick straight to Anderson. And once again, Angel City has the ball, a little more than 70 minutes in. Thompson with it. She's able to beat the defender, but it's on the side near the goal line. So she had to try to cross it in, and it doesn't work for them. Ball is kicked all the way back to Anderson. They're going to reset and try again. Very stressful game here, to say the least. When Portland does get an opportunity, they look like really good opportunities. You see, he gives up on the play there, just kicks it straight out, lets the defense set up. So the motions are going again here for Portland. Reyes forces it forward, but ends up back with with Gordon. Ball kicked back to the keeper. Forced up. Jansdottir with it. Kicks it back. And here's an opportunity to chase it. Mayara's got it. She doesn't get enough strength behind it, though. She did have everyone beat, including her own defender. But when she took the shot, it just didn't have enough speed to really be a threat to the keeper. And in what's a kind of a bad sign, she goes down in pain. So I'm wondering if she hyperextended trying to force the shot, which is why it was softer. Again, she seems like she's been trying to force a play to happen, and I'm wondering if that might... Yeah, no, her plant leg, she gripped it. She was trying to force this shot. Will they have to use a second sub window here is the question. We're already 72.5 in, so a second sub window is not a be-all, end-all, but everyone's taking a water break since everyone's frozen up. Other matches happening next week. Houston Dash and Seattle Reign going on Friday. They'll be the first game of May. Orlando, Washington on Saturday. North Carolina, Kansas City. And then the game that we will be likely living, we will have Angel City again hosting Utah Royals. Then that Sunday, we've got 4 more. Chicago and Portland on May 3rd. So that'll be Sunday. Boston and Denver will be running in the midday. Gotham and Racing Louisville. And then Sunday will conclude with San Diego hosting Bay FC. And the nice thing will be the next week there is only one midweek game, and that'll be on May 6th. Utah and Houston. So on that one, that might just get thrown into one big preview. So that way I don't have to dedicate a video to that one match. That's a problem for 2 weeks from now. All right, so here we go. No substitution made. So we're back into business. So another press forward by Portland, trying to get something off of a busted play. There is an opportunity here. Are they calling anything? I think she was hoping for a foul there. Wilson made an aggressive play, but rather than try to take a shot with someone riding her the entire time, because the backfield was basically on her on both sides, she tries to just run straight up to Anderson and pop it. And it leads to a sliding shot, but it was very easily fielded, and nothing was able to come of it. But they are able to force a corner kick, so that's something. Here's the first corner of the match here for Portland. Nothing doing. They had Moultrie do it. And there it is, a missed play, and that's the goal. That's what they were waiting for. Poorly handled there by Angel City. And a booking, it looks like. So I'm going to put the goal up for time being. There appears to be a pretty hefty argument. So we will see what's going on, what the Angel City is arguing out of this. Let's see. So the ball goes up. Borges launches it. Ball is headed. Let's see. Oh, I think they might be wanting another offside, but replay might show off, but I think she was fine. It's hard to tell. But that was Torben, by the way. So that'll be Pietra Torden. And that'll be your third goal of the season. That will count as a goal. I haven't seen anything on VAR that indicates they're going to call another offside. But they are checking it. Yeah. Angel City immediately went to wanting it called. So they are checking. Now, if it is called, that would be a goal kick. And it is taking a bit of time. Oh, they're not calling offside. This could be a... They're checking that it's a foul. Let's see. Where would the foul be, though? So the question is, what was going on that they're calling the foul for? Now, if that was a foul, though, Portland's player ended up on the ground, so I'm not sure what they'd be calling. So that took a significant amount of time. They might have been checking for the opportunity of All right, so yeah, Torden comes off, and Renee Lyles, number 41, will debut for the first time this season and for the first time in her career. So what was on effectively her last play of the game, she manages to head in the goal. All right, now we'll see what Angel City does in response. They've been attacking pretty consistently today, and the ball's been in their possession for a long time. So the question will be, can they make something happen in the next 12 minutes and whatever injury time they receive? Here comes the throw-in. So yeah, instead of protecting a 0-0 draw, you're making your debut maintaining a 1-0 lead. So your Lyles' purpose is very different here. Instead of having to balance attacking with not giving up the big play, you're now in a position where you can really lean into the defense because you're just trying to get away with the 1-0 win at this stage. So we're nearly 80 minutes into this match. And Anderson with the ball again, trying to set up a play. Sends it up. Goes to Gordon. Sends it forward to Shores. Foul called. This is going to be a free kick to Angel City. And they are bringing it up here. And it's something I do notice as the midseason goes on. In spite of the fact that there's a lot of energy in the stadium, Angel City has not yet taken full advantage of the home crowd to really make this a place that's difficult to play in. So yeah, we're going to see right now what is Angel City made of in terms of what they look like versus years past, where this would probably be it. Will there be an attack that leads to an equalizer? 81.5 in. And here it comes. Quick throw. Forced up. Oh, ends up in the hands of feet of Endo. She presses in. Makes the kick. It's deflected by a couple Portland defenders. And again, it's what they were saying earlier. That last pass. You have the opportunity, but the last pass isn't available. And that's a matter of figuring out your spacing. That's a matter of figuring out where do you make your passes work. Because the reason your last pass isn't there is because the routes you're running are too easily covered. And you're not making enough alternative options to allow your the person to make their assist. Right, so we are about 82.5 in. It was a good setup there. And once again, Portland with the ball gets it into the box, but really no one was chasing with them. So ball just ends up forced out pretty easily by Angel City. This will be a throw-in for Portland here. 82-90 at this point. There haven't been a lot of injuries, so I don't imagine a long injury time coming up. Especially since the team trailing was the one who did the review request. So what is being called here? Because there was a battle here between Wilson and Borges. Because they were both expecting fouls here. Oh, I think she warranted the foul because intentional slowing down of the game because she fell on the ball, but that one's a reach. We do have a sub here. Neely Martin comes out. And then it's Prisha Chilufya acting as an attacker. They're going a little more attack heavy. That's the third substitute player in the second window. So there are 2 potential substitutions that could happen in the final window for Angel City. So we will see if adding another attack-minded player here in after 84 minutes will help bring in the first goal. Well, here's the opportunity. She immediately has the ball. Will she be able to power one? It did get past the keeper, but there were 2 Portland players ready to knock it as soon as it got past. So they are going to be on the back heel a little bit if this is how it's going to go. There is a lot of attacking power sent forward on Angel City's part. So here we go. This really has been a game that has gone against scoring. The Portland goal really came off of just luck of the bounce. Hasn't really been an opportunity present. Endo trying to make a shot, gets deflected. Ball is forced out. This will be a corner kick. So you got a lot of attackers here as Endo gets ready to do this corner kick. This could be a bit of a wild finish. We will see. Could a goal be managed here in the 86th minute? Got quite a few low. Here comes the kick. Endo sends it up high. The header tries to get sent towards the net. Hopefully someone was getting there, but no. Went straight to a Portland player. 86 minutes here. And the ball is forced out. All right, ball comes to the top. So here we are. Anderson makes the kick. Ball is kicked and goes out of bounds. All right. So now, throwing again. This time it's to Portland. Reyes throws it. It's still in play. They're trying to keep it in bounds. Not able to maintain control, though. Angel City with the ball. Good pass. And now Angel City's got some space. Sam's running with the ball. Takes it to midfield before kicking a pass. Chifuya with the ball. Or Chilufya, sorry. Kicks it across. Not able to get to a player. Arnold falls right on it. Not letting anything develop once it gets into the box. Pressure remains on here in the 88th minute, though. Portland has clearly stopped really pressing to score, and instead is just trying to lock down and protect matters here. A sliding play on the ball was ill-timed by Angel City. Ball ends up just into no man's land. That one probably should have been played standing up. Angel City keeps the ball after a few bounces, though. So, Chilufya again with the ball. Outside the box. Makes a pass. Borges is able to get to it. Sends it back. Here comes Tiernan. Sends it to Shores. Shores over to June Endo. Endo back to Shores. Still outside the box, trying to make a play inward. Ball tries to get kicked out, but Shores keeps control. Chilufya again. Sends it forward. Sam's playing up. Tries to flick the ball over for a shot. Doesn't happen. Only one player back deep, but Sam's is able to get to it. Pushes it back forward. Still Angel City's ball. We're into the 90th minute now. There we go. Janzar trying to just get the space. Launches it. Goes above the net, though. She was frustrated. She wanted a shot out of this today and just was not able to get a decent one here. Gets under the ball a little too much. It was online in terms of it would have been in between the posts, but about 2 feet too high. So the question will now be, what are we going to see in terms of time added? Mayara gets knocked over while contesting a header. They're going to blow a whistle. We'll have to see what gets added. Both players went down on that one. They are adding 7 minutes, which, since the injury time, there was an injury at the moment it was called. None of the seconds right now are actually counting towards it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the timer, reset it back to 0, and I'm going to run this up. There we go. It's about 1.5 seconds off, but this will give you the idea of how much time is being added. It's supposed to go 7, but at the moment, no time is going. Because both players got knocked over. So that would have been Mayara from Angel City and Moultrie from Portland Thorns. They're both getting checked out, making sure there's no head injuries here down the stretch where they need to make substitutions. Both teams have a single sub window left, so they could be used. So they are going to call for it here. It's going to be a drop ball. Ball gets deflected. Portland's still with the ball. Moultrie going to try to make a play, but nothing. They were keying in on Moultrie here through this half, and that is one thing that ESPN's given credit to Angel City for. They shut down Moultrie pretty much the duration of this game. But the issue at hand is, although you had a lot of great offense and you shut down the star, you allowed the ball to bounce too much. A busted play happened, and you ended up with an unlucky goal. So unless you generate a goal out of all of this, you end up taking 0 points for what was a good effort. There is definitely a lot to look forward to, but yeah, there needs to be still a hefty desire to keep this going. Those who have been watching at the expense of the NBA, Celtics are up 16 on the 76ers. And here comes the last sub window for Portland. Cassandra Borgier, or Boguere, is coming off. And Jaden Perry, number 24, will be in her place. Here comes a free kick for Angel City. Shore sends it basically to the outside of the box. Ball is still playable. Trying to make the attack happen. Really good effort here. A lot of shots, a lot of possession. Just despite really outplaying for large stretches, it is not showing up on the scoreboard. Will they be able to make it show up? Again, refs not calling there, despite players falling on top of each other. Now they're making a call. Jan's daughter got knocked over, and this will be a free kick. They gave him benefit of the doubt on the first one. The second one, not as much. And conversation here. Looks like Endo is going to be the one making the kick. But Shores is there too, so it might be a fake out. Realistically, because of how long the injury check took, we're probably going to the 98th, possibly minute 99. Shores chased it down, but Anderson's already there. Sends it up. Rough playing of the ball there. And oh! And that is... And just an ugly play there. That was mishandled. Anderson had come up to play the ball. Led to an awkward kick up. Ball got contested. And it leads to Sophia Wilson basically going one-on-one against a defender. And she just fires at full force to the net. That one is... Yeah, there's no way around that one. That was poorly played. And it was uncharacteristically poor decision-making on the part of Angel City after what had been, everyone had been highly praising, a very good defensive effort, a lot of good decision-making. That was a series of bad decisions that when you're playing a team of this caliber, you cannot be allowing that to happen. Those decisions cost them, and that goal was very much deserved. It was deserved. Wilson deserved to get a goal from it. Angel City deserved to be scored on based on how poor the decisions were. So 96 minutes in at this point. The whistle will likely be blown the next 2 to 3. So big one here. So Sophia Wilson was on maternity leave for a while. She's been waiting for that moment. When am I going to get my goal? She's finally got one. That is her season debut goal. And with that, Angel City very much aware this is not happening, so they make their last substitution. And it's going to be Riley Tiernan stepping out for Casey Fair. Number 33 out, number 9 in. So we will see. Will this lead to a goal here? And there it is. Chalufia ends up with one off of a cross. We'll see how quickly they can get up there. But that is a quick goal from Angel City after a very messy string of events. Portland let themselves relax a little too much, and they gave up a goal for it. Yeah, so Sams takes it. And then it's kicked over. Chalufia running in the box. There it was. Yeah, that was Borges to Sams. Ball gets crossed. Chalufia right in front of the net just pops it through. So Anderson with the ball. We will see if they blow the whistle when it is. It has to be probably in the next minute or so. But it is 2-1. A chaotic string of events right now. Both teams now have a goal off of some misplayed natures. LA, communication errors. Portland, relaxing too much right off of a goal. And now the question will be, will the game be blown here? Or does Angel City get one more attack out of it? In any case, the clean sheet was taken away here over the last couple of minutes. They've not called for anything, but it is a throw-in for Angel City, it looks like. Oh, no, it is for Portland. Angel City's just chasing it to get the ball moving quicker. So it's a free kick to Angel City. They're trying to prevent them from getting up the field. Foul called. They haven't blown it yet. They're just going to have Anderson do it. Can they make something happen? They haven't blown it yet. Ball thrown. It's getting tight. Portland has been controlling the ball pretty well since that goal. As they are just, at this point, in clock kill mode. They are not attempting to score. They are just trying to prevent the ball from being in the offensive half where the ref might be inclined to let an attack play out. But yeah, Portland has been playing a pretty charmed year here, being thoroughly outmatched in certain parts of these games and still managing to win. Definitely shows you there are some gamers here who know how to score in big spots. But the question is, usually teams like that do eventually burn out and run out of luck. And there it is at full time. And there it is. We have the final score here. Portland takes the victory off of this break, 2-1 over Angel City. An unfortunate circumstance for Angel City. Definitely felt like they had outplayed them for large stretches, but it was not to be. So that will keep Angel City locked at 9 points and dropping to, at the moment, that would drop them to 5th place because Utah has already taken a 1-0 lead over Seattle. At the moment, that would put Seattle still ahead of Utah by 1 on the goal differential. But if Utah was to score again, they could actually finish this week in 3rd. We will see. But big matchup coming up in a week when Angel City plays Utah, especially if that result holds. And we will be watching that. I'm hoping it pans out because I would be all in favor of seeing Angel City and Utah being a battle of 2 top 5 teams. Especially since I was someone who was a bit of a doubter on Utah. It would impress me to see if they could make something happen here. I do like the squad, but we will see. In any case, that is the conclusion of today. We will be getting ready for a little more action later this week. I'll be doing a few videos here. Got updated power rankings. We've got recap of games, preview of Wednesday games, preview of weekend games, Angel City specific stuff based on what I've observed today, talk over the league, and I do intend to get back into gaming streaming over on Twitch, which will be starting tonight. I'll be back in for a little more of... I know I'm supposed to be doing Batman Arkham Asylum tonight, but I know I might be squeezing Final Fantasy VI in because I've been missing that game too. We'll see what I decide on. I'll be thinking about that. It'll come a little later. In any case, thank you to all who have been watching. Subscribe and be locked in to hear some more great stuff as we talk about the goings-on of this league and some analysis of these games. And yeah, I'm grateful you all took the time out of your day. I'll see you all later. And despite how I'm feeling at the moment,